I used to cover overnight shifts at a small hotel. Nothing fancy, 3 floors, maybe 40 rooms total. Weeknights were slow. Most of the time I was alone at the front desk from 10 p.m. until sunrise, just flipping between paperwork, camera feeds, and whatever was on my phone. The lobby was simple. Desk up front, a few couches facing a TV that was almost always off, vending machines humming in the corner. Behind me was a tiny office with a glass window, so I could still see everything. Around 11 that night, the buzzer went off. I unlocked the front door and a guy came in, mid-40s maybe, tall, thin but not frail. Jeans, a baseball cap, backpack slung over one shoulder. He walked straight up and asked for a room. Everything about it felt routine. I quoted him the price. He handed over a card. It scanned. I gave him a key for a room upstairs. But when I passed him the key, he didn't move right away. He just looked at me. Not angry, not confused, just blank. Like he was waiting for something else. It lasted a few seconds too long before he finally turned and headed toward the elevator. I remember noticing it, but not enough to act on it. About an hour later, I looked up and saw him again. He wasn't at the desk. He had already walked past and sat down on one of the couches. The TV in front of him was off, just reflecting the room faintly. At first, I assumed he couldn't sleep. People did that sometimes. But he didn't move. No phone, no bag in his lap, not even shifting around. Just sitting upright, staring straight ahead at a black screen. After a while, I got up to grab a drink from the vending machine. The second I stepped out from behind the desk, I felt it, like someone tracking me. I didn't turn my head, but I knew he was watching. Every step across the lobby, every second I stood there, I could feel his eyes on me. And when I walked back, it didn't stop until I was behind the desk again. That's when it started to feel off. Around 1 a.m., I pulled up the system just to pass time, checked the list of occupied rooms. The room I gave him, 214, was marked empty. I thought I clicked the wrong thing. I refreshed it. Still empty. I checked the check-in records. Nothing. No name, no payment, no entry. Like it never happened. I went to the transaction log next. Same thing. No charge. That didn't make sense. I remembered the card reader beeping, the usual confirmation. I picked up the phone and called the room anyway. It rang and rang. No answer. Then I checked the door log. Every time a key card opens a room, it records it. There was nothing. That's when it hit me. He never went upstairs. I slowly looked over at the lounge. He was still there, same position, same blank stare at the turned-off TV. I didn't go up to him right away. I just sat there trying to convince myself the system glitched. It didn't. After about 15 minutes, I walked over and asked if he was okay. He turned his head toward me, same expression as before, said he couldn't sleep, then turned back to the TV. No hesitation, no follow-up, just done. I went back behind the desk, but my hands weren't steady anymore.
Around 2, I realized he wasn't in the lounge. I didn't hear him get up. I scanned the lobby and didn't see him at all at first. Then I spotted him, down the hallway near the restrooms, half in the dark, just standing there. Not using the bathroom, not moving, just standing. I kept glancing up, pretending to work. After a while, he walked back out like nothing happened and sat down again. That's when I called my manager. She sounded half asleep and told me to keep watching him and call police if anything escalated. But it already felt wrong. I just didn't have a reason yet. So I checked the cameras. On the hallway feed, I saw him walking slowly down the corridor, stopping at the far end, just standing there for minutes at a time before turning around. Another camera showed him going into the stairwell. He stayed inside for about 10 minutes. No reason. No luggage with him. Just there. Every time I looked up from the screen, he'd be somewhere else. Near the elevators, by the vending machines, once tucked into a darker corner of the lobby, where the lights didn't quite reach. Always still. Always watching. By 3:30, I couldn't ignore it anymore. I called the non-emergency line and explained that I didn't think he was actually a guest. They said someone would come by. While I waited, he got closer. He moved from the couch to a spot about 15 feet from the desk, just standing there, facing me. No blinking, no talking. I stared at the computer screen, pretending to type, but I wasn't reading anything. Then the door buzzer went off again. Another guest coming back late. I unlocked the door quickly. The guy stepped inside, walked past, and the man, he turned his head and followed that guest with his eyes the entire way across the lobby. Didn't move his body, just his head, watching him until he disappeared down the hallway. That's when my chest started tightening. A few minutes later, the man vanished again. I checked the cameras. He was standing outside one of the guest room doors on the first floor, not knocking, just standing close to it. I didn't wait anymore. I called 911. They said officers were on the way. I stayed glued to the screen. He stood there for a few minutes, then turned and walked back toward the lobby. When he came in, he walked straight up to the desk this time, leaning forward slightly. He asked if there was any food. His voice was low, almost flat. I pointed toward the vending machines without saying much. He smiled, just a small one, and walked away. I kept checking the clock after that. Every minute felt longer. Finally, around 4:10, the buzzer went off again. This time, it was police. I let them in and pointed right at him. He was back on the couch like nothing had happened. They talked to him for a few minutes, asked for ID. I couldn't hear everything, but I saw the shift in their posture pretty quickly. Then they escorted him out. One of the officers came back in and told me what they found. The card he gave me earlier was stolen. He wasn't registered. No reservation. Nothing. He had just used the card to get inside. That was it. They charged him and took him away. I sat there for the rest of my shift, staring at the cameras. What stuck with me wasn't just that he wasn't supposed to be there. It was how long he'd already been inside, walking the halls, standing near rooms, watching people. And the part I keep replaying. That moment when I handed him the key and he didn't walk away right away, like he was checking if I'd noticed something I didn't.